Hello everyone, this is Jake from Down the Weeaboo Hole, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. Dracula, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Twilight. Vampires have always been prevalent in media throughout the decades. Every time I think we're done with these bloodsuckers, they rise from their coffins and start becoming popular again. There are even vampire anime, quite a few of them actually. I believe the only vampire-centric anime I've watched is Rosario plus Vampire, and it wasn't that good. But this October, I decided to take a look at the summer 2022 anime Call of the Night, and I was delightfully surprised at how much I enjoyed this vampiric series. The anime's premise begins pretty simple. 14-year-old Yamori Ko has stopped going to school and starts leisurely wandering the streets at night since he has trouble sleeping. While trying to purchase beer from a vending machine on one of his outings, he meets a mysterious woman. This woman is Nanakusa Nazuna, and she decides to take Ko under her wing and help him deal with his sleeplessness. After strolling through the city for some time, Ko begins to become tired and Nazuna brings them to her place. The two prepare to go to sleep, and when Ko is about to pass out, Nazuna reveals that she is actually a vampire and begins to suck Ko's blood. Ko confesses that he's awake and confronts Nazuna about what just transpired. Nazuna tells Ko that she's a vampire, and Ko wonders if he's a vampire as well. Nazuna explains that the only way for a human to transform into a vampire is a human needs to fall in love with a vampire, and then that vampire needs to suck their blood. Ko admits that he doesn't know much about love, but he wants to become a vampire. Ko doesn't want to return to his old life and has grown an appreciation for the night and the freedom that it grants him. Becoming a vampire has given Ko a goal, which in turn has given him purpose. Ko then asks Nazuna if he can fall in love with her, and she responds that he can do what he wants, but her main focus is to suck his blood. So now for the rest of the series, we watch Ko and Nazuna's blossoming romance. But there is one little issue. Nazuna is almost triple his age, so it might be a little awkward for some people to watch some of these scenes. I've watched all of Buffy, so I'm pretty used to 200-year-old vampires falling in love with teenage girls, so personally, I'm not offended by Nazuna and Ko's relationship. There is a clear power dynamic in the relationship. Nazuna is not only a deadly vampire, but she's also older and more experienced than Ko, and I think this works for a vampire story. There should be some sort of uneasiness and danger when dealing with undead creatures. I believe at the heart of it, Call of the Night is a coming-of-age story. Ko is an adolescent boy, and this is the first time he's traversing through the night. Night representing adulthood. I see Nazuna as a guide for Ko, not only someone to help him navigate through the night, but also someone to help him navigate through his own sexuality. Ko repeatedly mentions that he does not understand the concept of love, and it's thanks to Nazuna that he's finally able to explore it. The anime is interesting because it feels like it's been separated into two parts: the wonders of the night and the dangers of the night. The first few episodes display how incredible and romantic the night is. I remember watching these episodes around midnight and I felt so nostalgic. Watching the two main characters play video games in the dead of night reminded me of those nights where I would sleep over at my friend's house when I was a teenager, and we'd be up all night playing video games and talking about girls. I remember being Ko's age and exploring the night with my friends. There's something very adult about the night when you're a teenager. It feels like you discovered a new world when you explore the empty streets of your hometown that was populated only a few hours before. And then you start discovering all these adult areas you had no idea existed as a kid, such as bars or clubs. Nazuna shows Ko a few of these adult areas in the anime. She brings him to a night pool, and Ko sees other men fawn over her. This makes him jealous and shows us that he's grown feelings for Nazuna and has become protective of her. The other area is a love hotel that Ko accidentally suggests for the two to visit. Nazuna doesn't tell him what the building actually is and has a nice laugh at his expense. In both these areas, Ko is out of his element, showing his immaturity, but these scenes are also displaying his exploration of adulthood. The other half of the series displays the night as dangerous, which I wasn't expecting. We start discovering that there are other vampires in this city, and that being a vampire isn't as fun as it was displayed in the first few episodes. I really love the switch in tone, and the developments in the second half makes me excited to see what happens next. I was afraid that the series would be a slice of life due to the first few episodes, but it looks like it might be more story driven. I was worried at first that the main duo wouldn't interest me and they wouldn't be able to carry the series. I didn't really care for Ko at first. He felt like your typical bland self-insert protagonist, but the more I watched, the more sympathetic I became. I feel like a lot of us can relate with Ko, being forced into a system that you never chose. I envy him because he's able to reject the system and explore something different, which a lot of us can't really do now in adulthood. I like that there's an episode where Ko wants to help an adult woman who is trapped in the system. Nazuna is definitely the star of the show, her design is great, and her voice actress Amamiya Sora does a fantastic job balancing the lewd and confident Nazuna with the easily embarrassed by love talk Nazuna. She definitely sells the tropey seductive vampire, but her laid back attitude is what sold me on the character. She's just this chill girl that plays video games and drinks beer, and that helps the anime feel relaxing to watch. However, the character that stands out the most to me is the city itself. A city in anime hasn't interested me this much since Ikebukuro from Durarara, and I think the art direction is to thank for that. The vibrant purples and blues give the city a sense of mystery and wonder, which just draws me into it. For a city that is so empty, it feels so alive. Even though we mostly see empty streets, the cast helps us feel like the city is brimming with life. It feels like these characters own the night, since they are the only ones out at this time. The moments we spend with them feel more intimate, since it feels like the rest of the world is asleep. The series is not a showcase for spectacular animation, but there is a fight scene that is competently executed. I find the series shines the most with its art direction. The colors used in the series are bright and colorful, which make the city a beautiful place to look at, but the anime doesn't shy away from making the city a terrifying place when needed. The OST is also solid, with Lost Time by Creepy Nut being the standout song. As I stated before, I would watch this anime late at night, so I felt really immersed. I felt like I was one of those few people in that empty city. If you're going to watch this anime, I highly recommend watching it around midnight or even later. I think it's the best and most relatable anime if you're having trouble sleeping, and it feels like these characters are here for you. They're going to stay up with you until you can fall asleep. So, Call of the Night was an unexpected favorite for me this year. I went in without knowing anything about the series, and I left a fan. I'm going to give Call of the Night a Nazuna looks better with her hair down out of 10. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think of the series in the comments below. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and join the Discord if you want to talk to me directly about Call of the Night or any other anime. Take care, everyone, and happy Halloween.